Okay.
We have a question over. In this question, we have already solved the income statement and we will directly move towards statement of financial position. The main motive of today's class is to learn how to make statement of financial position. Let's suppose I have made the income statement, and in income statement I'm getting loss of 13,500. So I will write it over. Loss 13,500. This is a loss. Okay, we are not right now making income statement. We have already done this. We will only and only discuss statement of financial position. Up, when we are preparing statement of financial position, we need to know two to three things. First of all, we need to understand what are the components of balance sheet. Components of balance sheet includes number one, non-current asset. As we know, what are non-current assets? Non-current assets are those which usually have a life more than a year and they are less liquid. Up, we can see over here, we can easily see over here that examiner has highlighted all the non-current assets. These are my non-current assets. These are the costs of all the non-current assets. We have leasehold building, we have shop fixtures, we have computer equipment. These are the three non-current assets which are mentioned in the question. Leasehold building, shop fixtures, computer equipment. And the provision for depreciation is also given in the question. For leasehold building, the provision for depreciation is, which means this means that the old depreciation, previous year's depreciation is 13,500. For shop fixtures, 14,000. For computer equipment, this is the value of provision for depreciation, which means the previous year depreciation. So we have the cost and we have the depreciation. We have the value of depreciation. Both things are given in the question. अच्छा डेबिट अच्छा so we can make basically statement of financial position. We know the previous year depreciation and we have calculated the current year depreciation in the income statement. I will also do some working. Building are held on lease of 20 years. Achha, so in order to calculate current year's depreciation, uh, we have some few adjustments given in the question. You have must have already done this. Achha, we know that the life of the building is 20 years. So what we will simply do to calculate current year's depreciation for building, the cost is going to be divided by 20. 90,000 divided by 20. So we will get current year depreciation for building. Because the formula is simple. In this case, the formula is simple. Cost minus scrap value divided by useful life. If there is no scrap value, we will assume that the scrap value is 0. 90,000 minus 0 divided by 2. So the answer is coming out as 4,500. This is current year's depreciation for building. Current year depreciation. Current year depreciation for building. Then shop fixtures 15% per annum. Over here the rate is given. And it's over here again, it's saying straight line method. So we simply have to do 15% multiplied by cost for shop fixtures. 24,000 multiplied by 15% because the rate of the depreciation is given. 24,000 multiplied by 15%. 3,600 for shop fixtures. This is the current year depreciation for shop fixtures. But for computer equipment, it says 30% per annum using reducing balance method. So for computer equipment, we will do cost, which is 60,000, minus provision for depreciation, which is 42,000. We'll get 18,000. 18,000, and then we'll multiply it by 30%. 5,400. This is going to be current year's depreciation for computer equipment. Okay, we have already done this in the income statement. It was just a quick recap. Okay, we have already calculated the current year depreciation for all of the three non-current assets. But when we are preparing statement of financial position, what we are supposed to know is that in statement of financial position, we need to understand accumulated depreciation. What is the difference between current year's depreciation and accumulated depreciation? Accumulated depreciation is simple provision for depreciation plus current year's depreciation. Accumulated depreciation means total depreciation. You must know the meaning of accumulated. Accumulated का मतलब तुम्हें पता है, मतलब होता है sum, total. So accumulated depreciation means total depreciation. We will write the costs over here. We will write accumulated depreciation in the second column, and in the third column we will have net book value. First component of statement of financial position is non-current asset. Number one, we have leasehold building. The cost of leasehold building is 90,000, which is given in the question. But for accumulated depreciation or leasehold building, we must see the question. Current year depreciation we have already calculated in the income statement. Current year depreciation for leasehold building is 4,500, and the provision for depreciation for leasehold building is 13,500. So 13,500 plus 4,500, we will get 18,000. 18,000 is going to be accumulated depreciation for leasehold building. I have just
So basically, for accumulated depreciation, all we have to do is add
to have the sum of provision for depreciation and current year depreciation. This will give you accumulated depreciation. So 90,000 minus 18,000, we will get 72,000 as net book value. The same thing we will do for shop fixtures. I know the cost of shop fixtures is 32,000. Accumulated depreciation is going to be simple. The current year depreciation plus provision for depreciation. So I'm getting 18,800. Cost minus accumulated depreciation, you'll get the net book value 13,200. This is the remaining value. This is the residual value. Then we have computer equipment. Cost of computer equipment is 60,000. Provision for accumulated depreciation, total depreciation charged on computer equipment is 47,400. We'll subtract both of these and we will get 12,600. Now we will add all the net book values. The sum of these three net book values is going to be 97,800. After this, we have current assets. But let's see if there is any adjustment for current asset. If there are any adjustment for current asset. Firstly, examiner have given me the closing value. And we know that statement of financial position is prepared for the year end. When the year ends, then we prepare statement of financial position. So inventory is already given. Inventory at 28 February 2017 is our closing value. So 20,700 is going to be my closing value. Trade receivables are given as 34,500, but there must be some bad debt. So bad debt is 2,500. So we will do 34,500 minus 2,500 because 2,500 are bad. And provision for doubtful debt for current year is 1,600. How I have calculated provision for doubtful debt? 5% is to be maintained. So we will simply do 34,500 minus, which is the value of trade receivable minus the bad debt, 2,500. We'll get 32,000. 32,000 multiplied by 5%. We will get 1,600. So provision for doubtful debt is 1,600. I will also do the working over here. Trade receivables given in the question is 34,500. This is given in the question. Okay? I have not calculated this. This is given in the question. Bad debt is 2,500. This is also mentioned in the question. And provision for doubtful debt is to be maintained at 5%. So first of all, I'm going to calculate net trade receivable. Why I'm calculating net trade receivables? Because bad debt are those customers which are irrecoverable, which I know that they are not going to return my money back. Irrecoverable debt. So we will simply do 34,500 minus 2,500 and we will get 32,000. 32,000 multiplied by, this is the net trade receivable. We will multiply this by 5% to get provision for doubtful debt, which is the estimated value. 32,000 multiplied by 5%, we will get 1,600. 1,600 is going to be my provision for doubtful debt. So I know the value of net trade receivables. I know the value of provision for doubtful debt. And the current year's provision for doubtful debt is subtracted from the income statement. From the statement of financial position. So we have the closing inventory. The value is already given over here. I just have to copy paste the value of closing inventory. There is no adjustment which is related to closing inventory. So I just have to copy paste the value of closing inventory. That is 20,700. Okay. After closing inventory, we have trade receivables. Trade receivables were 34,500 and we have subtracted 2,500 from our trade receivables because 2,500 is bad debt. So net trade receivables are going to be 32,000. Current year's provision for doubtful debt is 1,600. We will subtract 1,600. I've already shown you the working. We have to see if there is any other adjustment. It's better to always first solve the adjustment and then then you can copy paste the remaining values. During the year, new shop fixtures costing 8,000 were purchased. So this means that the payment was made by check, which means that the value of bank is going to decrease by 8,000 because by mistake I had not recorded this entry in my books, which is why 8,000 has not been subtracted from the value of bank. What is the value of bank? It is also given in the question. Bank is over here. 20,500. This is not supposed to be 20,500 because we have to subtract 8,000. Why? Because 8,000 is the amount of things the chat purchased via check. We have purchased new shop fixtures of $8,000 via check. So the value of bank should decrease by 8,000. The value of bank should decrease by 8,000. Which is why we'll do 20,500, which is 20,500 is given in the question, minus 8,000. Then there must be prepaid expenses. Rent receivable 3000 was on. This basically means that this is our receivable. We have to receive rent. This is another asset. This one is our current asset because we have to receive rent. We don't have to pay rent, we have to receive rent from someone. So that's our current asset. Other than that, I don't think so there is any other adjustment. Other receivable 3000. Bank, there was, as I remember, there was an adjustment for bank. The value of bank was 20,500, but 8,000 should be subtracted from bank because I had purchased fixtures via check. So 20,500 minus 8,000, 12,500. And the total is of current asset is going to be 66,600. We have to calculate total assets. So 97,800 plus 66,600. 97,800 plus 66,600. We have the non-current asset as 97,800. We have the current asset as 66,600. We will add both of these to get total asset. 97,800 plus 66,600. Total assets are coming out as 164,400. After current asset, the next component we have is capital. So the formula for capital is of a sole trader. As we are preparing statement of financial position for a sole trader, so there is going to be bit difference. Formula for capital for a sole trader is capital at start add minus loss. As in the income statement we had a loss, or then we have drawings. So drawings should also be subtracted. Then this should be equal to capital at end. Let's see the value of capital at start. Capital at start is, this is also given in the question. It's over here. 100,000. That is going to be my capital at start. Capital at start of the year. This is the value of drawings, but there is one adjustment for drawing. And loss we had already calculated. Loss is 13,500. We have already calculated loss from income statement. That is 13,500. So what is capital at start? $100,000. Loss, as business is having a loss, so this should be subtracted. अगर profit होता तो add करते, Because business is having a loss, so this should be subtracted.
और capital at end वो आप अभी दिखाएंगे.
We have to calculate capital at end. The formula for capital at end is capital at start, add net profit. अगर loss है, तो we are going to subtract it. Minus drawing equals to capital at end. But this is for sole trader. ठीक है? If we are preparing statement of financial position for partnership, then it's going to be a bit different. If we are preparing statement of financial position for a company, that's going to be a bit different overall. But majorly the thing is that we follow the similar formula, but things could change. Let's suppose for a company it could be equities, it could be shares are also going to be part of capital in case of company. But right now let's keep it simple. So capital at start we have 100,000, drawings are 9,500, but there is one adjustment which is related to drawings. What is that adjustment? Adjustment is basically that uh, basically the adjustment for drawings is staff salaries include 8,000 paid to BIC. So 8,000 is being paid to BIC. By mistake, we had included this in staff salary. So we had to subtract it from staff salary and include it in drawings because partner, the owner, BIC is the owner. Owner is including this to his personal bank account. That's part of drawing. When you use the money for your personal use and the owner uses the money for his personal use, that's drawing. So this is given in the question that drawings of $8,000. So we are going to add 9,500 plus 8,000 for drawings, just for drawings. After loss, we will subtract drawings. What was the adjustment for drawings? That BIC had done drawings of $8,000. 9,500 plus 8,000. Drawings are going to be 17,500. So capital is going to be 100,000 minus 17,500 minus 17,500. Capital is going to be 69,000. Then you have current liabilities. What are the current liabilities? Current liabilities we have trade payables. Trade payables are already given in the question. I'm just copy pasting the value 25,600. Owing, in owing we have an adjustment. The adjustment is given over here. General expenses of 5,000 were owing, so 5,000 were owing. No interest have been paid on bank, so we owe the bank loan interest. We have to pay this. So 4,800 is on. Why? Because we haven't paid any interest on it. So we had to calculate bank loan interest. What is the value of bank loan interest? So you can simply do 60,000 multiplied by 8%, 4,800. So 4,800 is basically owing loan interest. We haven't paid it for the year. So that's owing. They haven't paid any interest on. The owner haven't paid any interest on loan, any interest. So that's owing. 4,800 bank loan interest owing plus 5,000 expense owing. Total owing expenses are going to be 9,800. After current liabilities, we have only one non-current liability remaining, which is bank loan. Bank loan is 60,000. So I will write 60,000. Sorry, bank loan is yes, 60,000. Total liability is going to be 95,400. 60,000 is the bank loan. Total liability is going to be 95,400 is the total liability. Now our statement of financial position is completed. Let me show this to you again. Once again, just see this. Leasehold building is 90,000, cost is given in the question. We had calculated accumulated depreciation of 18,000. How did we calculate accumulated depreciation? We had just simply done provision for depreciation plus current year's depreciation. Bus, that's it. Then we get the net book value. After that, we had shop fixtures. Shop fixtures cost is 32,000. And accumulated depreciation. Similarly, we had done provision for depreciation plus current year's depreciation. So whatever was the current year's depreciation, we had added provision for depreciation. We get the accumulated. For computer equipment, similarly, but in computer equipment, we had purchased additional non-current asset of, I think so, worth 8,000. So we had to add 8,000. Huh? So we get the cost of 60,000. And same way we find accumulated depreciation, then cost minus accumulated depreciation equals to net. अच्छा, one thing is important. अब क्या होता है कि बच्चे अक्सर देखते हैं, वो कहते हैं यार एक चीज हमसे गलत हो गई, आप भी परेशान हो जाते हो कि यार अब क्या करें. भाई ऐसा नहीं है. You don't have to leave a question just because you are not getting one component or you might be getting a single component wrong. ठीक है, हर चीज के मार्क्स, हर चीज के मार्क्स, क्वेश्चन अटेम्प्ट करना, जो समझ आ रहा है वो कर लो, करना जरूर है. यू हैव टू अटेम्प्ट. परेशान नहीं होना. ये कोशिश करें कि सही करें, ये नहीं कह रहा कि गलत करके आओ, सही करना है, बिल्कुल करना है सही, लेकिन एटलीस्ट गिव इट एन अटेम्प्ट. ऐसा नहीं कि खाली छोड़ के, अक्सर बच्चे होते हैं खाली पेपर छोड़ के आ जाता, हमें तो समझ नहीं आता. खाली नहीं छोड़ के आना भाई, अटेम्प्ट करना है एटलीस्ट, ताकि पास हो जाए. इसी तरह बेटा करंट एसेट्स में भी हैव क्लोजिंग इन्वेंट्री. मैंने ट्रेड रिसीवेबल आपको समझा दिया कि बैड डेट था, नीचे एक एडजस्टमेंट थी इन विच एग्जामिनर हैड गिवन मी अ बैड डेट of 2,500. So I had subtracted 2,500 from my trade receivables. Provision for doubtful debt, similarly, I had calculated on 32,000 multiplied by 5%. So I get provision for doubtful debt as 1,600. Other receivable was given to me as rent receivable. Rent receivable is an income. If income is owing, that is going to be a current asset, 3,000. In bank, there was an adjustment that of 8,000 as the computer equipment were purchased of worth $8,000. So I had to subtract 8,000. इस तरह ही I got the total value of current assets, where I added non-current assets and current assets to get total assets. After that, we had capital. Achha, for loss, I had to make, in order to find profit or loss, I had to make income statement. I assume that we had already prepared income statement and we are getting loss. For this question, we were getting loss of 13,500. As we had already discussed income statement, so we didn't spend time for income statement. Today's class motive was to understand statement of financial position. Then drawings. In drawings, there was an adjustment that Big had withdrawn cash worth 8,000, which was by mistake included in staff salary. So it should be subtracted from staff salary and added in drawings. Staff salaries are part of income statement. Same thing we did done over here. Then for current liabilities, we had trade payable, owing expenses. Non-current liability, we had only one non-current liability of bank loan of 60,000. इस तरह हमने करके पूरा क्वेश्चन सॉल्व